What we've done is we've separated them on the benches. We just want to determine their reason for their travel and conduct a thorough bag search on their luggage.
The couple make frequent trips to Vietnam, and officers are wondering how they finance their travel.
Your wife?
Yeah, no,
She working?
no, she follows.
Sorry?
She get a payslip from
Vietnam?
Yeah, no, from here.
From here.
The man says he is also on the pension.
Did you pay for the tickets?
Yeah.
Making frequent overseas trips on little income can sometimes be an indication that a passenger may be a drug mule. And Officer Chester wants to know a few more details about what the couple did while they were away.
So did you stay in a hotel the whole time you were there?
Get a hotel from far away from Saigon.
Oh.
About 140 people. 140K.
Did you visit any of your family in Vietnam? No? What did you do while you were over there?
Drive the car around, stay home, watching the TV, that's it.
They are not the usual holiday activities. And as Officer Chester continues to search the man's luggage, over on the other bench, an item is discovered in his wife's suitcase that sets alarm bells ringing.
What's this?
She is carrying a glass pipe commonly used for smoking methamphetamine or ice. International travellers arriving in Australia must be of good character. And Border Force officers need to be sure that they pose no threat to the community.
Have you ever had any trouble with the police?
If a passenger has a criminal conviction which results in a jail sentence of 12 months or more, they must declare it and be assessed at the border before they are allowed to enter the country. Today, in Melbourne, this Englishman is about to be interviewed after he declared criminal convictions on his incoming passenger card.
We're going to try to get the individual to discuss their past, to provide us with information regarding the convictions. We do need to get more information about their character and their history so that we can have an understanding of who we're potentially letting into the country.
The man is travelling on a tourist visa, and Officer Stathy also needs to establish what his plans are while he is here.
What's the purpose of your travel to Australia today, Robert?
My daughter had little about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I've come to see my grandchild.
How do you intend to spend your time over the course of the next 6 weeks in Australia?
Just enjoying it with my daughter, going out for walks, swim, just spending precious time together, really.
Have you previously travelled to Australia?
Yeah.
How long did you remain in Australia during your previous trip?
I think it was about 3 years.
The man admits to Officer Stathy that he breached the conditions of his 6-month holiday visa on his last visit.
Why did you overstay your previous visa? Can you provide me with some more information with regards to that?
Well, it was when my daughter came over. She decided she was definitely going to stay here. So I made sure that I stayed on till she made friends and got settled in.
There are concerns the man may be planning to overstay his visa on this trip as well. But there is also the matter of his criminal past.
When you arrived at the airport earlier this morning, you declared on your incoming passenger card that you have had previous criminal convictions. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What criminal convictions do you have?
I held up a bank.
While searching the luggage of a couple returning home from Vietnam, Australian Border Force officers have discovered what they suspect is drug paraphernalia in the woman's luggage.
What's this? You don't know? You don't know what this is?
Maybe he buy for me, look, make flower or something.
Put a nice flower in it? Yeah, maybe.
She claims she thought it was a vase, but Border Force officers know it is a device commonly used for smoking methamphetamine or ice.
The detection of the glass pipe on them is a huge concern for us. It strongly indicates their involvement in drugs What we need to do now is determine whether they are bringing any drugs with them across the border.
The woman denies using drugs, but over on the other bench, her husband is a little more forthcoming.
It's not like grass.
Grass, as in
Yeah, just grass. Just marijuana.
marijuana.
Yeah. But sometimes it's fun we saw the case.
So you smoke
we
smoke
don't
marijuana?
smoke, you know, some.
Okay, but you both do?
Yeah, that's smoke.
He just said that they use it to smoke marijuana, both of them.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, he just told me.
With his admission that they do use drugs, the search of the couple's belongings is stepped up, while the man is questioned further.
So the device over there that you were using,
Yeah.
was that for marijuana, you said?
Yeah.
Looked like something that you would use for smoking ice.
Yeah, because I smoke sometimes, not the no.
How regular?
You know, just a friend of mine, she gave it to me, and then I bring here to show, you know.
But why are you traveling with a device that would be used for smoking ice? Did you use overseas?
No.
You didn't use
Yeah,
overseas?
just sometimes, not all the time, you know.
But you do use
Yeah, I
ice,
do,
yeah?
but you know, maybe one a week or something like that. But this one just show in the case, you know, just for show, not using.
Yeah, because it's not a brand new one. It's not
Yeah, that's a
something...
brand new one,
It's,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a used one.
Yeah.
You have scratches on it, so it looks like it's been cleaned because of a recent use.
No. She gets, friend of mine, she gave to me from brand new, buy in the shop, you know. But just for show,
Huh?
you know, just for show.
We'll see about that. I'll come back to you shortly,
Yeah, no.
all right?
As they continue their search, officers are surprised to discover even more pipes concealed in the woman's luggage.
What's this?
Concerned over what else the couple might be hiding, officers will now ramp up the investigation. Today, in Brisbane, after a routine bag search, a passenger has just been caught trying to import some organic material that could pose a major threat to our environment.
She had only declared some dried fish to me, but one of the packages I opened had some seeds in there.
It seems more like a collection of seeds that includes some that are coloured pink.
And they're a type of corn seed. Some of these seeds, those ones there, they're okay. Those ones are not.
The pink coating is used to identify seeds that are not for consumption.
So they're obviously been brought in to grow.
The concealment could result in a prosecution, and Australian Border Force is called in to help. But the passenger's day is about to get a whole lot worse when someone notices that she has tried to offload some other suspicious material onto the ground.
I think she's become scared when we found the seeds, and then she's decided that these ones were going to be a problem as well, so she tried to hide them by dropping them out of a bag on the floor.
The items have been identified and are definitely prohibited.
There's a bulb of ginger, and it's got all the shoots and that on it here, so it's a viable piece of material which could be planted in that and bring disease into Australia, so that's a problem.
Woman will now be referred to Border Force officers for further questioning. But before she's escorted to an interview room, she makes another shocking mistake. Following a search of the luggage belonging to this couple returning from Vietnam, Australian Border Force officers have discovered drug paraphernalia in the woman's suitcase.
One with a bottle tube, and then 3 straight pipes.
Her husband has admitted they do smoke marijuana and ice, and Australian Border Force officers need to be sure they are not attempting to bring any illegal substances back into the country.
What do you use this for?
Shampoo.
The shampoo?
Her bag is x-rayed and a swab is taken from some of her personal belongings to check for any traces of narcotics.
Looks clear, everything looks consistent.
The x-ray is clear and the swab test result is negative. Officers are now satisfied the couple are not attempting to import narcotics, but the woman is not free to go just yet.
Right now, you cross the border coming from overseas into Australia. These are prohibited imports. These are drug paraphernalias. These are going to be seized. Inclusive of that, you're going to be issued a fine for having in possession of these items crossing the border into Australia. Understand? You're gonna pay for a fine on this one today because they're regulated items. Yeah, these are drug. $380.
200.
380.
380.
Yep. So you're gonna be issued a fine today.
I don't know. I have no money. What can I do? What can I do? But I said, you're not my husband. You do this. My bed, I must to pay. But I have got money.
Miss Nguyen, it doesn't matter who you claim these are for or who owns them. They were found in your possession.
Not mine.
Come back here in front. Come back here. You're not gonna pay for them?
No, I'm not pay.
That's fine. You're gonna go to court for them? That's fine.
Not pay.
The prohibited items are seized and the couple issued with a $380 fine, which they are told they are required to pay by the due date or they will be summoned to court.
What criminal convictions do you have?
I held up a bank.
This man has travelled from England to visit his family and meet his 5-week-old granddaughter. But Australian Border Force officers have serious concerns about his criminal past.
How many years imprisonment were you sentenced to?
4.
How many years imprisonment did you serve?
I reckon about 3.5.
When did these convictions occur?
78 maybe.
Subsequent to this conviction, have you had any other criminal convictions?
No.
Have you ever appeared before a judge or magistrate since this?
No.
Although it was almost 40 years ago, it's a serious crime, and records indicate that the man lied about it on his incoming passenger card on his last visit to Australia.
We do have a copy of your previous incoming passenger card, Mr. Craig, and you did declare that you don't have any criminal convictions when you last entered Australia.
I said I didn't.
You said you didn't.
Okay. I can't remember.
Can you tell me why you provided false information upon this entry?
I can't remember that now, but I would imagine to hopefully get in and spend some time here, knowing that criminal convictions you usually get stopped.
Interview suspended at 10:56 hours.
His admission of deliberately providing false information on his previous visit may be enough for Border Force officers to stop this man from entering the country to meet his granddaughter. In Brisbane, biosecurity officers have found more living plant material that this woman has tried to hide by discarding it under her baggage trolley.
We just had a bit more research on the ground. The lady seems to have dropped some plant cuttings which could be grown. They've got shoots on them and everything, so they're viable material, and again some more seeds. So we'll leave Customs to have a look at it and see what happens.
Before Australian Border Force officers take the woman to an interview room, a biosecurity detector dog will be run past her to make sure she has no other hidden organic material. The detector dog has no reaction, and she is given the all clear and can now be taken to the interview room, where she gives her reason for carrying the prohibited material.
Well, she said a number of things that her mother or brother may have put it in the suitcase. But it's quite unusual in the fact that those items were in her pocket. So we're just trying to ascertain how they actually got there and who actually did put them in there.
Seeds and plant material are handed back to biosecurity officers for identification.
After we do all the identification of the plant material here, it will go to our scientific section and they'll do up a risk assessment to say what risk these seeds and cuttings could cause to the Australian environment.
The interview is now completed and the woman has finally admitted that she tried to dump the plants.
The reason she said that she actually put them on the floor, and she did admit that, was that she didn't want to get in trouble because she knew that they weren't allowed.
Now, with all the evidence collected, the woman is free to leave. However, she may soon be contacted if she faces prosecution. This man has travelled all the way from England to meet his 5-week-old granddaughter. But he has a criminal past that is concerning Border Force officers.
I've just consulted with the passenger and they have informed me that they do have criminal convictions dated 1978 and they were sentenced to a 4-year imprisonment sentence and have stated that they haven't had any issues with the authorities since these convictions.
As his case is carefully considered, the passenger reveals his emotional motive.
I mean, I'd never put a foot wrong. I'm not into that sort of thing at all, but I couldn't support my family at the time. I was playing footy and got a bad injury and was too ashamed to ask for help off anybody. And one day my partner come up the path with 4 bottles of milk that she'd pinched, and I felt that ashamed. I said, well, that's it, you're not gonna do that again. And off I went. Robbed a bank. At the time, obviously being emotionally a bit knackered in the head, and you do daft things, but that's well gone. That's the one and only thing I've done wrong, and I paid the price for it.
But for Border Force officers, there is also a more recent issue. The man has admitted that he lied about his criminal conviction on his previous visit to Australia to gain entry into the country, and then remained here without a valid visa.
And he confirmed that he stayed for 3 years because he wanted to spend more time with his daughter.
A decision is made, and Officer Stathi takes the next step.
I'm now going to present you with a notice of intention to consider the cancellation of your visa.
This anxious new grandfather is hoping Australian Border Force officers will allow him to enter Australia to see his family. But there are many factors they need to consider.
On one hand, he has a grandchild that he has never held, a grandchild that was born 5 weeks ago, and 2 daughters who have been residing in Australia for 12 years. On another hand, he has a serious criminal conviction for which he has spent a period of 3.5 years in prison. But he also has a history of non-compliance with Australian immigration laws.
He has been issued with a notice of intention to consider cancelling his visa and is given a chance to plead his case.
I'd just like to say that, look, what happened there was 40 blooming years ago. I don't see why I should be having to pay for that now. And this is just a family thing. I just want to get up, see my daughter, my children, and my grandchildren. I want to hold my grandchild for the first time. That's why I'm here. And that's really all I can say.
After carefully considering all the facts, a final decision is made.
I am satisfied that there are grounds for visa cancellation under section 1161B. Your visa has been cancelled or you're currently detained under section 1891 of the Migration Act. Do you have any questions at this moment of time, sir?
I can't believe it. I think it's a bloody disgrace, that sort of thing. Is this Australian justice for it? Something that I've done 40 blooming years ago. And I'm paying for it. All I want to see is me blooming children. How would you feel if you travelled halfway around the world and denied access to your own children, your grandchild that you've never seen? That's all I want to do. I'm not on any other bloody mission. Bloody hell.
This is a copy of your notification of decision, sir.
Well, thanks. It's been a pleasure.
It's not an easy decision, but for Officer Stathy, it is a well-considered one.
It is a very emotional environment that we're operating in, but we're also operating within the law, the Australian law. And at times those decisions are very difficult, but they are always legally sound.